So I just finished building a website for one of my favorite clients ever, and I wanted to go through what was involved in creating it over the next couple of minutes, and then for the remainder of this video, we'll go through how it was all set up, because we have a lot going on under the hood here. And when I say we have a lot going on here, I really mean it. So some of the things that we've set up here that we're going to cover in today's video are as follows. So we have a WordPress website that has WooCommerce integrated. So we're an online store, but we also don't just have any plain WooCommerce website. So we have one-click upsells and downsells, a customized WooCommerce checkout page. We also have in-cart upsells where they click one button in the cart and that just adds it to their cart. It's an extremely cool plugin, and it's a new plugin, so I'm really keen to go through that. Then we also have a CRM integrated in the back end of WordPress. So anyone that purchases from our WooCommerce website gets added there, and we have forms all over our website that are leading people to join our email list and opt in and join the CRM side of things. Then when people are in the CRM, we have email automations going. We also have the ability to send broadcast emails where, for example, we could go out and select everyone in our CRM, in our email list that has bought a particular product. We could send them an email to promote another product when we release it. So we have that going. We have speed optimization happening. So we have image optimization. I run you through how I'm doing that. The CDN setup, our caching plugins, everything that I'm doing to get highest scores on Google page speeds. This really is the ultimate website build. And the reason I put in so much effort here to set up heaps of different things with sales funnels, opt-in forms, is because, like I said, this was for one of my favorite clients, and I want to introduce you to them now. So this is the website here, and it was for my girlfriend. So as I said, one of my favorite clients, because I know she'll probably watch this. So she's a tattoo artist out of Sydney, and she didn't have a proper website to display her work. So she recently had a birthday, and I wanted to surprise her for her birthday with a new website where she could showcase her work and do some other things that I've been saying she should be doing, one of which is building an email list. So it's pretty much complete now. She needs to go in and add her content, but I'll run you through what I set up and what we're going to be going through at a slower pace for the remainder of today's video. So over the next couple of minutes, we're going to move fast. This is just more about showing you what I set up for her website, and for the majority of this video, we'll slow it down a little bit and I'll go step by step into what was involved. So the homepage here, the website is built using Bricks Builder as the theme and page builder. So we'll just go down, and I'll just point out the things that we'll be looking at in today's video. That's the home page, the about page, just about her tattoos. So one of the main things we needed to set up is multiple galleries in her website. So if we click into here, this is one gallery of her tattoo work, but then she also does commissions as well. So in her commissions gallery, we had some commissions there. So we had a lot of galleries that we needed to set up here, and I needed to do it in a way that was going to be easy to manage long term. So I ended up using Happy Files and the integration with Bricks Builder, so I'll show you how that works in today's video. So that's the main thing that I needed to set up, galleries. Now the next thing that we needed to set up was the ability to be able to sell products on her website. So if we click on vouchers, that goes directly to a WooCommerce product page. But if we go to the shop page, that will also list her products in her WooCommerce website. So the first product type would be gift vouchers, as I just explained. But then she also sells prints, which is where she will draw an A3 artwork, and then she'll get it professionally printed, and then she will sell copies or those prints to people to get framed and put onto their wall. So they are the two different types of products that she has in here. So let's firstly have a look at the gift voucher. So the gift voucher is just, it's a variable product inside of WooCommerce where they can choose how much they want to pay. And if we go up to the shop and we go back to the print, this would just be, it's just a dummy product until she actually adds her prints there, because she hasn't got a chance to do that yet. But this would be where they would just, add it to cart, because it's obviously a predefined size because she already has them printed. Now on that note, she's selling virtual products, which would be the gift vouchers, and then she's selling physical products, which she would need to charge shipping for, which are the prints. Now what's really cool that I'm going to show you how we set up is if we go back to shop and I go to gift vouchers, let's just say we add one of these to carts. Let's just say somebody's coming and they're buying a $200 gift voucher for their family member. When we click add to cart, look what happens. It will add that into the cart and then it slides out. And we have this side cart, but it also has an upsell in the cart. So maybe somebody's buying a gift voucher at $200. This does happen quite a bit. So let's just say someone's daughter will go in and get tattooed by Maddie, and then they will tell her mum, I got this nice tattoo. It was by Maddie, who works in Sydney, the parent might buy a gift card or to go and get another tattoo or something like that. So maybe the parent's coming in here to buy a gift voucher for Christmas for her daughter, and then she sees that there's a print there. So then she could click this down here, and that will add Maddie's print into the cart. So these in-cart upsells, as well as this side cart, is using a plugin called FunnelKit, and this is one of their newer features that they've just released into the plugin. So I'm going to be discussing all of that, and there's going to be links to all the software in the description below if you want to support the channel. They are affiliate links. This is how we're getting this functionality there. Now, if we click to proceed to the checkout page, we go to this page here, and this is a custom WooCommerce page that was designed in Bricks Builder, but is powered by the FunnelKit plugin. So the biggest, powerhouse plugins inside this website right now are the FunnelKit plugins. So Bricks Builder is designing the website, but FunnelKit is pretty much doing everything else. So FunnelKit is the WooCommerce checkout designer, the in-cart upsells. It also is the CRM. It's the email automation software. It's the software or the plugin that we're going to be using to send broadcast emails, which I'm going to show you how to do in today's video. But I did want to point out that a lot of this is just a couple of plugins, which is really cool. So we're on this checkout page here, but let's actually jump back and be logged in, and let's set up that same system. So I'll go gift voucher, we'll add one of these to cart, and we'll go add to cart, and then that slides out, we'll add that upsell there, and then we'll go to the checkout. And the reason that I wanted to show you this as a logged in user is so that if I go down, we can now proceed through the checkout using a test gateway that allows us to test as an admin user how this is all working. Just so I can show you what happens on the next page. Let's just say the person's going through the checkout, they've gone to buy a gift voucher, then they've said, yes, I want to get the print for my daughter as well. And they go down and they put in their details and they go place order. What FunnelKit is going to do behind the scenes is take them to a series of upsells and downsells known as a sales funnel. And the first one that I've set up here it's not a real actual upsell. I've just set this up to show you how this would work, but I need to work with Maddie to see what she wants to do in this scenario. But this is the functionality and how it works inside of FunnelKit. So they go from the checkout page to this, and it would say, wait, get a second print for a family member. For a limited time only over this holiday season, I'm offering my customers the ability to get a second print for 10% off. Normally $100, now $90, you save $10. And the person can either add this to their order and we'll charge their credit card again, or they'll click no, and then they proceed to the thank you page in this case. So what I've done here is here in the back end under FunnelKit and store checkout, you can see we just went through the checkout page, and now we're here in this series of upselling and downselling before we reach the final step, the thank you page. If we go into here, you can see that I just added that product into here. It's very easy to do, and I said I want to give 10% off the regular price for that. And down here I said ask for a confirmation. So what that means is back in here, if we say yes, add this to our order, I click this, and then the cart slides out again, and we have to confirm. Now you can disable that so that when people click this button over here, it just charges their credit card again and takes them to the thank you page. But if you've come from ClickFunnels, you can know that sometimes people accidentally click these buttons and you're processing refunds, so you might want to turn that on for your funnel. But if we click back into here, we can open that back up, and now we could say, yes, I accept this, so that's going to update. We charge their credit card again, and then it says, congratulations, that's been added, and now we go to the next step in the funnel, which is the thank you page. And this thank you page was designed in Bricks Builder as well, which I'm going to show you how to do in today's video. What's really cool about all of that, if we go back here under WooCommerce and orders, and we click into that order that we just created, and go down, you can see we have this one WooCommerce order now for those two transactions that we just did. So the first transaction was for the gift voucher, so you can see it was here, but then we had, when they added that gift voucher to cart, we had the side cart slide out and say, hey, do you want to add the print? And we said yes, so it says FK cart upsell, so we can see at a glance this was the main product, then this was a cart upsell, then they went through the WooCommerce checkout page, they completed that form, and then here, Upstroke is the upsell plugin, and we can see they said yes to getting that second print there for the $90, which was the 10% off. So it's combined those two transactions into the one WooCommerce order, which is really cool. And it actually adds notes over here for the charge IDs. And if we go down here, so say, for example, we were doing that through Stripe, we would have two different Stripe transactions for that customer. The main transaction, which was for these two first products here, and then another Stripe transaction for the upsell. And down here, we would have 2 separate line items here for those 2 charges. That way you can just refund. Maybe they say, oh, I didn't actually mean to get that upsell. So you can just refund that upsell there, but keep the parent order there without the refund. So again, I'm going to show you how to set up that upsell process in today's video. So coming back here under FunnelKit, we can see that FunnelKit does the store checkout, which allows us to customize our WooCommerce page, add the upsells and downsells, and customize the thank you page. It also allows us to create sales funnels, so pretty much completely replaces something like ClickFunnels. Then also it has the backend powerhouse, which is your email automations, your CRM, and your broadcast emails, as well as some other stuff that I'm going to go through in today's video. Now, let's keep this next little bit in relation to what we just looked at, which is WooCommerce. So if I go here under WooCommerce and settings, and we go to emails, you can see that when somebody normally creates an order in your WooCommerce website, you will send them an invoice or a receipt to say, hey, your order is now in processing status. Here is what you have ordered. And so that normally looks like this. Very plain, very boring. And these are actually quite hard to customize. That's why sometimes when you order from a WooCommerce website, it just looks like this because it is a little bit cumbersome to go ahead and make this a bit more personalized. But what we do in Maddie's case is this is that order that we just placed during our test transaction. If I click into this, you can see that her order receipt email looks like this. So it says, thank you for your order. Hi, Grant, just letting you know your order is being processed. It matches the branding of her website. Please confirm the below is okay and let us know if anything needs changing, what you ordered. We output the order details, and then we can customize it. And I'm going to show you this throughout today's video, but I built this using a drag and drop builder, and you can do this for all WooCommerce emails. So here I got to add something that I add to all my websites because I've sold internationally before, and I know that it can cause a lot of problems. Please note our pricing is in AUD. If you see different figures, it could be because of currency conversion fees. So if you're buying something overseas, I think this is a good note to have. Then we just confirm their details there, and then it says stay up to date with Maddie, and then we keep moving people through the funnel so we get them to join her Instagram. And then down here, again, it all matches her branding. So I will eventually replace all these emails, but I've only had time to do this one for now before making today's video. But the way that I replaced this email was under FunnelKit automations, and then automations. And then if we click into here, this automation triggers when an order is created and put in processing status. So when that happens, we send the user an email and it says order receipt, and then the order number's output here. And I'm building this using the visual builder. So if we go start to launch the email builder, we get taken into here, and it's just a matter of dragging columns into the page and then adding merge tags for the dynamic data. So you can see here, this is just an image. So the way that I created this is just dragged one column into there, dragged an image into there, and selected that image from my media library in WordPress. Then we added a heading, then we added some text. This is just another image. Then I added another row. And then here you can see where it says order summary. These things in the brackets, they're known as merge tags. They're your dynamic data. So when the email is actually processed, they're replaced with real data. So you can see this little tag here, order summary, that is outputting this entire table here. And down here, billing details, shipping details. You're basically dragging and dropping a visual builder here to design your email, and then rendering dynamic data with merge tags. You click save, it's all good to go. So if we get out of that and click out of that, I'll stop explaining what we do with WooCommerce now for this introduction period, but we do cover a lot more in today's video. Now, let's keep moving down this automation because it leads us into the next section that I want to cover to explain what we're going to go through in today's video. So once somebody purchases from our website, it's put into processing status, we send them the order receipt email, we wait a minute, and then we check if they're subscribed to our CRM. So before I explain what this is doing, let's actually look at where our CRM is. So back here in our WP admin menu, let's go down to FunnelKit automations and let's go to contacts. So this is the CRM area. So this is where you want to add people that join your mailing list or buy your products. You want to get them into here in subscribed status, and then you can be able to send them emails and set up email automations. So one of the examples that we do in today's video, if I click into my contact here and then go to purchases, anytime that so Grant Ambrose purchases from Maddie's website, it adds all the products that I've bought over time here, and then it adds all my order data here. And using that, I can then, or Maddie could then, come under broadcasts and create a new broadcast, and she can send an email to people that have only bought a specific product and upsell them to another product. So the example that we go through in today is maybe somebody buys a print from Maddie's website, but then in a month's time, Maddie creates another print and it matches that other print. So she might want to segment out everyone that bought that first print and promote her new print. And that can all be done here by getting everyone in the CRM and then sending a broadcast email and setting up that segment here in that broadcast. And again, this is all done inside of WordPress. So this is your CRM here under contacts. So if we go back there and click into me, you can see that I'm in subscribe status. So back here, when somebody purchases and it goes into order processing, we send the order receipt, wait a minute, and then we check their status in the CRM. So I'm already subscribed. So are they subscribed? Yes. So I would buy and then I would follow this path over here and I would just end this automation. But what if somebody buys from Maddie's website, gets the order receipt email, waits a minute, and then at that point, when somebody purchases from Maddie's website, they're created as a contact here inside the CRM, but their status would be unverified because they haven't opted into her email list. So they'd be in unverified status, but they would exist in the CRM. So it would come down here and say, are they subscribed? No, they're not. They'd go no. And then we send them an email and we say, hey, thank you so much for your recent order and for supporting my work. As a recent purchaser, I just wanted to let you know about my mailing list in case you wanted to join. Run through a couple of perks. So being able to be notified when she has new merch, new prints, when she's having a flash day, when she's traveling and tattooing locally in their area. So stuff like that. And then they can click this link here. And this link has a merge tag here. And what that's doing is basically when they purchase, they get this email. And when they click this email, FunnelKit knows that this specific person has clicked this link to opt in. So they've confirmed linked. And then their status in the CRM changes from unverified. So this would say unverified. This will get changed to subscribed like me. And then that way, when you go to broadcast and you try and send an email, you'll only be able to send to people that are in that subscribed status. And so what's really cool about this is not only are we able to send a really highly customized order receipt email for anyone that orders through the WooCommerce website, but we're also able to build up an email list. And this is all automated emails. And then once we send that email, they just end the automation there. That's a really cool example of combining getting people to purchase her products, but then also getting to build the email list where then she can then promote future offers in the future. And that's sort of the idea here, trying to build up an email list for her to then be able to use in the future. And any way that we can try and get people to know about her emailing list, I've basically put into this website. So that's one way that we're doing it there for the post-purchase flow. Now, another way that we're getting people onto the email list is through her forms. So if we go through to something like tattoos, and then we go to down here, book your tattoo, this takes them into a page where they can complete a Fluent form. So Fluent Forms just being the form plugin that I have installed in WordPress. So when people go through and they complete this form, we add them into another automation. So I'll show you how that's set up. So I'll go back here and we'll go down to FunnelKit automations and I'll go to forms. And then here are all the different forms in her website. So if I go to the book your tattoo form and I just edit this, you can see that I've mapped the form fields from Fluent Forms. So name, email, describe your tattoo idea, size of the tattoo. They're just the fields here. So describe your tattoo, size of your tattoo. So this column here is the form fields from the Fluent form. And I'm just mapping them to fields for the contact in FunnelKit automations in the CRM. So currently I'm just doing first name, last name, email, and phone. But you can add custom fields, map custom fields. You can pretty much do anything that you want. But that's what we're doing here. Now, if we go down and go next and go down a little bit, you can see that we're sending an email notification here with the subject, stay up to date with Maddie. So when somebody completes that form, we're sending this email. And this email says, hi, while I'm reviewing your booking form details, I thought I would let you know about the perks of being on my email list. So there's the perks, and then they can click this link. And it has that merge tag, contact confirmation link. So when they click this link, we'll just send them to this URL here that just says, if I just open this, it just says you're subscribed, you're now on the mailing list, and then we get them to go to Instagram. But coming back up here, this email is acting as a confirmation that their form has gone through and we've received it, but then also just letting them know that there's an email list and they can just click one click here and that will subscribe them in the CRM. So 2 birds, 1 stone here, and it's a really clean solution and a clean way of doing that. And if we go down, the beauty of this, if we have a look here, don't send email if contact is already subscribed. So if they're already on our email list in our CRM as subscribed, we're not going to send this to them. And that's just one checkbox here. So it really, it is a flawless solution and allowed me to connect all the different forms on her website in this way to have the email confirmation go to the customer and then also try and get people onto the email list, all while not sending it to people that are already subscribed. It couldn't get any cleaner than that solution. Now, the last thing that I want to touch on in this introduction, because we're still in the introductory phase of today's video, I'm just going through what we're going to cover later on. I'm also going to cover how we optimize this website, because this was a little bit different to how my Wage Pirate website needed to be optimized, because Wage Pirate is a global audience. So I needed to make sure I was using a CDN to push my assets all around the world, and it just involved thinking a little bit differently here, where Maddie is only really targeting an Australian audience, like 99% of her traffic. So we really did need to think about different things and approach things in a different way, and I go through that very thoroughly in today's videos. So we cover image optimization, so how we're going and converting all the images into WebP, where we're storing them, CDNs that we're using if we're using one, and how we managed to get 95 here and 100 on desktop. And you can see just by clicking around her website, it is very fast. I'm very happy with the speed in which her website is loading here. And again, this is powering WooCommerce. It has a CRM inside. It has FunnelKit in there. I go very thoroughly into the optimization, so definitely have a look for that section. And at the end of today's video, we also go through the join the email list, where we click here. That takes them to this page here where they can opt in to actually join the email list directly. This is its own separate funnel, but we'll touch on that a little bit later on with its own email automations. So I just gave you a mouthful of things that we're going to cover. So let's slow it down a little bit. Let's go back to Maddie's website and let's just click through the website and understand some of the pages and the content that have been added in there, and recap a little bit on what is the purpose of creating this website for Maddie's business. What does the business need to get out of this website? So let's firstly start with the homepage. So with that said, let's have a look and click through the pages here. So the home page, it's just a photo of her. Another thing that we actually ended up doing is that I could sit down here and try and design this website, but a lot of the time I find when I'm trying to design a website and I'm struggling, it's because I don't have any images. Like if I load up this website and I'm trying to design this for a tradie and they have no images, and I'm jumping to Shutterstock and choosing stock photography, it just takes so long. And so what we decided here was I'll go down. I spent about 4 hours in the store. She had a customer come in and I tattooed her before the shop opened, and then when her customer came in during the tattoo process, and then while she was drawing afterwards. So you'll see a bit of those photos there. But we shot all of these over 4 hours, and that was in between me going and getting a cookie and calling my mum, who loves to talk, for a couple of hours on the phone. So it really wasn't much time out of my day to get good quality photos, and it really made this whole process so much easier. So I just wanted to mention that if you're ever trying to build a website for someone and you know a little bit about photography and you're comfortable taking photos of them, I think if I was to do more client work, I would definitely offer that myself, because like I said, it really wasn't much work, and it made designing this website so much easier. So we just have her in the tattoo shop there, and if we go down, an intro to her, because people that are landing here, we probably want to introduce her to the traffic. So coming down here, that will go to the About Us page, a photo of her with a client. Then down here, we have her tattoo gallery, book a tattoo, shops, and commissions. Just again, photos we took on the day here. And then the gift vouchers. And then coming down here, we have a join an email list, so they can subscribe there to the mailing list, and then the footer. Now, this join the mailing list is something that we're going to look at quite a bit in today's video, because this is something that I definitely wanted to incorporate into the website here, but it's not really something Maddie wanted. So she was a little bit hesitant, and that's sort of because the tattoo industry, it's quite traditional. And so if no one else is really doing it, which they aren't, then, you feel a little bit weird doing it yourself. But me personally, having ran an e-commerce website where we ran a lot of revenue from our email list was quite large, over 100,000 people. We'd send an email, make a couple of $1,000s. I've felt the effects of building an email list and how important it is to do that. And I just really want to see how this goes for her. I really hope it does start to work and she sees the value in that, and I can show her that and let her experience that, because right now this is more me implementing it and her sort of giving in and just saying, okay, let's just see what happens. So the way that we're going to use the mailing list for now is people that fill out her booking forms and her contact forms and stuff like that. We will ask them if they want to join the email list, and she will also add it into her Instagram, and she will promote it a little bit here and there. And the way that we're going to see if this is effective is that people can opt in to get notified of things like when she's taking on commissions and when she has new prints for sale, but then also about upcoming flash days. So this is the first way we're going to look at using this email list. So a flash day in the tattoo context is these sheets here. So once or twice a year, a tattoo studio, maybe a little bit more, I'm just generalizing here just based on what I know and have experienced from dating Maddie. Once or twice a year, they will have flash day. It's where the entire shop, all the artists, create one or two of these images that you see behind Maddie here, where they do smaller designs. And so they do these, and then the whole store promotes that they're having a flash day, and then people wait outside the tattoo shop. And at the start of that day, people line up and they pick a tattoo that they want. And the idea is you need to get in there first, because obviously a tattoo artist can only do so many tattoos on that day. And these designs are basically only going to be done on that day. So you definitely want to get down there and make sure you get to book in with your artist and get the design that you want before they book out. So it's quite a bit of fun. It's very exciting. Maddie gets really excited when they come up. And so what we're thinking is, why don't we try and use the email list to let everyone know when the next flash day is? So a couple of days before, be like, flash days this coming weekend, get down there, and so you don't miss out on the designs. And Maddie could maybe include her flash sheets that she'll be doing on that day in that email. People go, oh, I really want that. Okay, I definitely have to get down there on Saturday. And so that's the idea there. So if we build up, a few people on the email list, we will email for the next flash day. So we're not going to be pushing it too much for now. We'll hopefully passively let it accumulate with subscribers. And the next flash day, a couple of days before, we set an email. Hopefully, Maddie can get someone, say, replying to her email broadcast, being like, yes, I'll see you on Saturday. I love this. And then I can say to Maddie, look, I told you this was worth doing. And Maddie gets, Maddie just really sees the value in an email list. So I'm really excited to incorporate that into her website. And that's how we're planning to use it. But we're going to look at that a little bit later on in today's video, how that's all set up. So that is the homepage there. So if we go to the About, so this is her About page. And then this here, so this gallery is a Happy Files gallery. So Happy Files is a plugin that was developed by the Bricks Builder team. So here it is, happyfiles.io. It is a great plugin. It allows you to organize all your media into folders in your media library. I'll show that a little bit later in today's video. But what's really cool is that when you're going into a Bricks Builder page or you're going into a Gutenberg page, you can actually insert a block where you can select a folder from Happy Files and it renders it as a gallery. It's basically a really cool plugin. I'm not an affiliate for it. There's no affiliate program, but it is a great plugin, and I'll definitely recommend checking it out if you're looking to manage your media or put a gallery into your website. But this is that there. I'll show you how this is actually set up in a second when we log in. That's it there. And then we go to the tattoos. So this is the tattoo gallery. Here we have 3 different entry points. So the tattoo gallery, designs ready to be tattooed, and flash day. So the tattoo gallery, if we click into that and have a look, so these are all the tattoos that I added from a page. She'll probably update these to her favorite ones. But if we click here, this just opens up in a Happy Files lightbox, and we can go through and have a look at what these look like. So I really like this gallery. It allows you to zoom in, which is really cool, and you can just pinch to zoom on a mobile phone. It's a really nice, easy gallery, and it integrates very well with Bricks Builder. But if we go down here, I just had, get people to go to her Instagram, or they can book their tattoo from the gallery page. If we go back, we can go to designs ready to be tattooed. If we go down, same thing, Happy Files gallery. They're all Happy Files galleries on this website, so I'll probably stop saying that. And if we have a look here, it just opens up exactly the same. And then they can book their tattoo. So these are, if she does a drawing and she wants to tattoo that, people might want to go there and go, oh yeah, she drew that in her free time, and I'd love to get that tattooed. and then they can just reach out to Maddie and do that. So these are sort of drawings she does in her own time that people might want to choose from. Then Flash Day. This is a page that we set up just so people can, when they ask her what Flash Day is, promoting it on Instagram, she can direct them to this page here. And they can go through and, it's just FAQ. What is Flash Day? Because a lot of the time people think Flash Day means that it's like a flash sale. So it's like very cheaply priced tattoos, which isn't the case. And so it's just explaining all of that and then maybe showing some of the previous designs that she's done on days. And then here, again, we're trying to get people onto the email list and we just say, let us remind you about Flash Day. So a couple of days before, because maybe some people will forget, or again, if they're relying on Instagram to remind them, Instagram will only push out to a small percentage of your followers. So the inbox is definitely a lot better. You get like, I think that industry average is like 30% open rates. And for her list, it probably will even be higher. So definitely the email list is going to be a better reminder option than relying on Instagram. So coming back, tattoos. Now, the reason that I didn't do drop downs is I like to just have a very simple main menu. So they click on tattoos and then it's like a gallery and then they're in there. So Maddie was happy with that as well. I think it works really well. Definitely let me know. I'm curious, do you use drop downs? Or do you like to keep your menu simple and have these sort of entryways like that? Definitely let me know in the comments below. It was a decision that it seems like it wouldn't be such a big decision now that I've done it. But when I was going through and doing it, trying to surprise Maddie, I was like, okay, well, yeah, I sort of like to do that. But yeah, maybe she would like a drop down. But I think it works really, really well. So just let me know in the comments below what you would have gone with there. On a mobile, if we bring this in, and this is also designed using the Bricks Builder header, the new one that was just released. I really enjoy using it, by the way. But here, if we go to, say, tattoos, they're sort of in tiles. So they go to tattoos and go tattoo gallery and like that. So I think it's good. I think I do like these portals versus a drop down. But yeah, definitely curious to know what you guys are doing. So let's go to commissions. So same deal. So the gallery, the commission info, and then the form to book a commission or ask questions. So here, the commission gallery, we go down, same thing, just her previous commissions, see more on Instagram, trying to get people to follow her on Instagram as well, or inquire about a commission. And if we go back, then we can go to commission info, currently open for work, and then just some of the things that she can help you with and why you might want to get a commission. Because sometimes people maybe need to be reminded of like, what a commission could do for them or how a product could help them. So say, giving them an idea, or get it for a friend's pet. Or do you have a loved one that is having a baby soon? Get a commissioned piece of the baby or your friend that they can put in the nursery or something like that. And then the commission sizes, the sizes that she does, and back to the gallery to have a look. And then the commission form, if we click into that, they just go here, and this is a Fluent form. And it just has the, what color do you want it? Do you want it just lines? What date do you need it by? Is it by a due date? Do you need and then budget, notes, and stuff like that, just to get the ball rolling. So let's go back. That's commissions, and then vouchers. This is WooCommerce. Now, this is where it starts to get interesting, and this is where I used one of the new features from one of my favorite plugins for WooCommerce. And I really think if you have a WooCommerce website, you're really going to like this next bit. So if we have a look here, so this is a single product. We went straight into the product. We could also get there by going to shop, and then we have a print here, and then we also have gift vouchers. So if you go back in there, that is just the same as there. We put it right at the top because it's probably going to be one of the most used things that she can direct people to. And so it just makes sense to put it right at the top. It might change depending on how the website evolves. But this is a popular thing that people ask her about, so we put it up there instead of having to go to shop and then click it there. Now let's just say we choose a $200 gift voucher, and then we go add to cart. If I click this, I'm going to add it to cart, and then this slides out. Now this is so cool. I had not used this before I built this website. And so this is using a plugin called FunnelKit, and I'm going to leave a link to it in the description below. It's one of their new features that they released. So one of the really good things about the FunnelKit plugins is that they keep adding new features, but you don't need to pay extra for these add-ons. It's not like they have one main plugin and they release all these small add-ons that you need to pay for separately to enhance it. They keep adding more value into their main plugin. And the purpose of their main FunnelKit plugin is to help online store owners increase their profit by selling more of their products and services. And so this is a really good way to help us as business owners, or Maddie here in this case, sell more of her products. So what I set up here is if people are going ahead and trying to buy a gift voucher, then we have this in-cart upsell here that says, do you want to add a ladies print? It could be for $100. Now, I just set this up quickly to demonstrate how these in-cart upsells work inside of FunnelKit here. So by the time that you probably see this, I'll probably remove it because it's not what Maddie actually needs on her website. But I just wanted to show you how this works. So let's just say you can imagine this in your website, or if you're doing websites for your clients on WooCommerce, how this could benefit them and how you could sell this to your clients to help increase their revenue. So here we've skipped the cart page, it just slides out, very nice, neat layout, and then we have this upsell here. If we click this upsell, so click there, it adds it into the cart, add it in there. Now I'm going to show you how all this works when we log into the back end and we'll play around with this, but I thought this was really cool and it loads super fast. I mean, this server's in Australia, I'm in Australia, but I mean, her audience is only going to be Australia, so they're really going to fill this website being super fast. If I reload this, I was really surprised. So there it is there. Let's just say I click into this and I get rid of that. And then I get rid of that. And then down here, let's just add another one. I'm not going to pause the video here. And then we'll click add to cart. Then that loads. And then there it is there. And then let's add that back in. And there it is there. And yeah, I mean, I was really surprised. Again, I hadn't tested this feature because I have been running an e-commerce store for a little bit now. But this was very impressive. Now, got a discount code. So you can enter a discount code in this here instead of having to go to the checkout. So all around, I just think this is a super clean way to add upsells to your cart, but then also not have to redirect people to a separate cart page. It just feels super smooth. And if we close this, we have the cart icon down there. So if we navigate away from this, we can just access this and it's going to slide out anywhere on your website or your client's website. Come down here, they're checking the about page, click there, it's there. So yeah, super, super clean. Again, if you want to check out FunnelKit, definitely check out the links in the description below. It is my affiliate link, but it definitely helps me make these videos because they do take quite a bit of time. It's really the only way that I'm making money right now. So here we are. Let's go. Is that all I want to show you before we go to checkout? Let's go to the checkout in a second. So let's go to the contact page. And on the contact page, if I slide that across, you can see we have 3 entry points here. So book your tattoo, inquire about a commission, the general inquiry. So they're all fluent forms. So if I go and open these up in new tabs, so book a form, having a look there, just asking questions, when do you want it booked on and so on. The commission form, same deal. And then the general inquiry, just a shorter one like that. Now you might notice that on these forms, the header changes here to what I call a simple header. And it's just so people don't get distracted from doing what they're trying to do or what you want them to do on that page. So a really good example of why you want to do that is, let's just say we go back to here and then somebody wants to subscribe to the mailing list and we click subscribe now. We don't want them to then go to this page and then see the menu items and then click, oh, tattoo gallery, and get distracted. So when they land on here, we remove all the distractions. We have the simple header and just says join my mailing list, and they're focusing on the content here. So they put in their name and email, join mailing list, that would subscribe them to the mailing list. What actually triggers a double opt-in, which I'm going to show you how that works and how it's set up in just a second. And then we have the footer here. Now, we could actually go without the footer here because, again, we really just want to fill in the form here. So we could hide this based on the post type and only have this down the bottom. Maybe it's something we will look at in the future. I did overlook that. I probably would remove that. But coming back up here, that is the content of this website. That's the majority of the content. Now we're starting small. Ideally, we would have a blog. We'd be publishing articles, at least once a week to try and rank to get traffic in for local search terms like best tattoo artist, Sydney, or best Australian native flowers tattoo artist Sydney, or something like that my girlfriend specializes in. That'd be good to rank for those key terms. But it's something we're going to build up over the future. So for now, we're going to launch with this here. Now, before we jump in and look at how this is all set up, I want to go through what I've done to optimize this website to make sure it loads fast for people that are visiting her website who will mainly be from Australia. So if I just click around here, you can see that it does load pretty fast. I mean, even the shop pages are loading quite fast. If we go down here and add something into the cart, and then I just go here and click add to cart, you can see that loads pretty fast. I mean, everything's quite snappy. If we go to the tattoo page and then go into a gallery, the gallery images load really fast. And so I want to break down the decisions that I had to make when I was trying to choose what plugins to use to achieve the speed. Now, coming into the Google page speed test, you can see that we're getting 95 on mobile, and on desktop, we're getting 100. Now, let's go through everything that I've set up to do that. Now, the most important thing you need to work out when you're optimizing a website for speed is where is your traffic going to come from, because it's really going to affect the decisions that you make, the software and the solutions that you implement. So, for example, my main website, wagepirate.com, where I'm teaching people how to build websites online, how to make money by building a business using WordPress, that is a global audience. So, the things that I'm doing there are going to be different to what I had to set up here for Maddie, where all of her traffic is pretty much 98% of it is going to be coming from Australia. And so I am actually using different software for my website versus Maddie's. So if we break it down, so this is Maddie and she is in Australia. Now, we also have her website over here, and a website, as you probably know, is going to contain images. It's going to have CSS and JavaScript files. So these are going to be known as assets. And the website is on a server. Okay, this is going to be my server. So server here, which serves the website. And the website also is made from HTML. The first decision that I made here is that if all of her traffic is going to be coming from Australia, I put her server in Australia. Because the closer your machine is to the audience that are going to be accessing your website from that server, obviously the faster it's going to load. Now, the way that I set up a server, which you'll see a little bit later on in today's video, is I'm using GridPane to manage the server, and the server is a DigitalOcean droplet that is in Sydney, where, again, she's working out of Sydney. It just made sense to do that. Now, let's get into the optimization. So how are we optimizing the actual website? So let's just say we have a person here, and this is one of Maddie's customers that is visiting her website, and this person is in Australia, and we'll call this person 1. So they are on their phone and they access Maddie's website over here, and that goes to the server in Australia, and then it sends it back to person 1. When this person goes to access Maddie's server, because we're using WordPress, there's PHP here, which is going to the database and then rendering and pulling from the database the content for that page. So if this person's visiting her homepage, WordPress goes to the database, gets the content for the homepage, and then it will give it back to that person's phone. Now, if we have another person from Australia, so P2, and they go to access the website, we actually don't need to go back to the database to give them the homepage, because we already got it from person 1. And so why don't we just save a version of the homepage? Let's just put it over here. So homepage is here. So when person 1 goes to the website, we save that after we get it from the database, and then we send it back to person 1. Then when person 2 tries to access the homepage, instead of them having to go to the website, then the server needs to process the PHP to get the content for the homepage and give it back to them. Person 2 just gets that same result that person 1 got. So we cut out all that processing on the server. So you probably already know what that is. That's called caching. Caching is where we don't have to go and re-render on the server. We just save a version for people to access later on. Now, this cached version of your pages on your website is saved on your server, and this is what plugins like WP Rocket and Flying Press and those sort of caching plugins that you normally install into WordPress, this is what they do. They take your website after it goes to the database and processes using PHP, and they save versions of your website in plain HTML for future visitors to go and access and cut out having to go to the database. It makes your website load a lot faster. Now, these caching plugins like WP Rocket and Flying Press, these are the caching plugins over here. They not only cache your HTML here, but they also do things to your CSS and JavaScript files. So for example, for your JavaScript, they can delay executing your JavaScript until somebody scrolls down your page. And they can also do a lot of other things, which I don't want to get into the specifics here, minify your JavaScript. But then they can also do things with your CSS, like remove unused CSS. They can combine your CSS files, which isn't as common these days. But they can alter your CSS and JavaScript to behave in ways that make your website load faster. Now, these over here, these caching plugins can also affect your images. So they can do things like lazy loading your images. But the results of all of those processes with these caching plugins is saved on your server, and it affects users that come back to it in the future. So the person one here gets an uncached version, goes through all those optimizations. Once the caching plugin performs all those optimizations, it's saved on your server, and then person two just gets those optimized versions of your website without having to do all the other stuff. That's what a normal caching plugin does. So in my case here for Maddie, to go ahead and do that, I don't use WP Rocket anymore. I use one called Flying Press. So we're going to look at the settings in just a second, but Flying Press is way better than WP Rocket. I've swapped all my websites over to it, and there's a lot of people doing so as well. And it is extremely fast to do things like remove unused CSS. If you've used that in WP Rocket, it seems to take a very long time. With the Flying Press plugin, it's almost instant. It's crazy. So it just has a simplified settings page that is getting updated very frequently and adding new features, and it is incredibly powerful for speeding up a website. So I would definitely recommend checking that out. Again, there's going to be a link in the description below. It's my affiliate link, but just hands down, it's the best caching plugin that I've used. But that takes care of this over here. So what we just discussed here, let's title this local optimizations. And the last thing that I want to touch on here for local optimizations, so things that happen within your server, is images. So to optimize images, we'll go over here. So this is going to be local optimizations continued. So again, we have our server here, we have our website, and we have someone over here that is accessing Maddie's website, which then goes to the server, and the server brings it back to the phone. But then we also have something like Flying Press, which saved a cached version. Flying Press saves a cached version of all the different pages. So P1 does all of that, and then P2 over here, they only access the cached version. And then anyone in the future still accesses that cached version over here. But now let's look at images, because on our website, we obviously have images. And for Maddie's website being predominantly image heavy, being it's a gallery to show her artwork, it was something that I really needed to heavily consider. Now, again, this is all in the context of her only having to show her images to an Australian audience. So images, when we upload them into WordPress, they're going to be either JPEG or they're going to be PNG, and they will be added through the WordPress media library. Now, these aren't the best format for your images to be shown to your users. There's actually one called WebP, and it's a web-only image format, and it produces smaller file sizes than JPEG and PNG. So you really want to be converting your images to WebP and showing these WebP images to the traffic, to Maddie's customers. So how do we get our JPEG and PNG to WebP? So we have a couple of different options. So if we go over here, we have the server. And so Maddie over here, she could upload her images into WordPress and they'd be stored on her server as the JPEG or the PNG. And then you could install an image optimization plugin like ShortPixel. So this is that plugin here. So you install this into WordPress. And then what you can do is you'll go into that plugin settings page and you will say, for all the images in my media library, which are all the images under media and then library. So all the images here, using the ShortPixel plugin, you can convert all of the images inside here into a WebP format. And it also can compress your images. So it's a very easy way to get your local images on your server into a WebP format, which again has smaller file sizes, and it also compresses them in the process. But the problem with doing this is then you have an image called image1.jpg, and then it gets converted by ShortPixel into WebP. Then that gets saved back on your server. So now you have image1.jpg, and then you have image1.webp. So you have two different versions of that image. And for smaller websites, it's going to work fine, and you might want to do this. It just keeps things simple. But the problem, well, I'm sort of scarred. When I had an e-commerce website, I had 1,000 products. They all had, variations, and then they had 5 different images each. I ended up on my server with a gigabyte of images or of files inside my WP content uploads folder. And so what that means is when I'm going ahead and I'm backing up, so we're doing backups, I'm backing up 1 gigabyte for every single backup. And I might have a backup that will be once daily for 7 days. So I have 7 gigs there, and then once every week for 4 weeks, and then monthly for 3 months or something like that. And so we're ending up duplicating, for every image, there's 2 different versions of that image. and then they're being backed up and stored in every single backup. And because this website was my bread and butter, and I really needed to have a lot of backups, and it had so many images, the amount of storage that I required just to maintain or retain my backups, it became overwhelming. And so the way that I handle this now is by doing the following. What you can do and what you can set up, and what I'll show you how to do, is that you can have your server, and on your server in your media library, you just upload your normal JPEGs and upload your normal PNG files. And what I do is on my local machine, which gets backed up to Backblaze, I will have the full res versions of these images. But before I upload these images into my WordPress website, I will compress them. And the app that I use here is on my computer, and I'll show you what it is. It's called Image Optim. So any images that I'm about to upload into Maddie's website, I will drag them into here, into Image Optim, and then it compresses them, and then I upload those compressed images into my media library. So all images inside of WordPress are already pre-compressed before I upload them, but I still have the originals on my machine. And because these are already pre-compressed, my media library stays quite small in file size, which means when I'm backing up, it just needs less storage space. The aim of this is to try and only have on my local server these JPEGs and PNGs that are already compressed, but how do we then convert these into the WebP format? So the way that we can do that is using something called a CDN, which is a content delivery network. So if we go over to flyingcdn.com, this gives you a really good example of how it works. So just to work with what we have here on the screen here, let's just say Maddie's website was in America. So it's stored over here. But then we want people to be able to go and access her website. Instead of everyone having to get the images from a server in America, a CDN will take the images from America and it duplicates them to other servers all around the world. And so you can see here, in this example here with the CDN, these people that are in Australia are now accessing images from Australia, which is over here. So this Australian person gets the images from the server over here, and then over here, this person gets the images from here, this person from over here, and this person from here down there. So instead of everyone getting them from all across the world in one location, they're getting them from servers that are closer to them. So that's what a CDN is normally, and that's what I have set up for WagePirate.com. But as you know, Maddie's traffic is all coming from Australia, so I don't really need the feature of a CDN to duplicate her images all around the world. But one good thing that has been implemented over the years with CDNs is they can optimize your images on the fly. So we can have on our server our images, JPEG and PNG, and then when somebody tries to access our website, the CDN will get these images and they will convert them on the fly to WebP format. And then usually it will take this WebP image and it will push it to all the different locations around the world so that people in Australia access the image from Australia. They will access the WebP image from Australia, and then it will be pushed over to America, and then people in America will access that image from America, and so on. So all these people around the world are accessing the WebP image that the CDN converted on the fly and then stored all around the world. Now, I don't really need it to be pushed around the world, but I did want to leverage this ability to convert my images on the fly to WebP so that the WebP images aren't saved on my local machine and then having to be pushed into all my backups. So from that, the ideal option would have been to somehow have a CDN where I could log in there and say, I only want to store images in Australia and I want to have images optimized on the fly. Because then I would only be paying to store images in Australia, but I'd also get the benefits of converting my images to WebP, not having them have to be saved on my local machine. Now, one of the most highly regarded CDNs that you have available to you is BunnyNet. And this is the one that I use on WagePirate.com. So this does all the duplicating your assets all around the world, and it will optimize your images on the fly. But the problem with BunnyNet is that the ability to optimize your images on the fly, it's an add-on, and the price of it is $9.95 a month. So if we go down, it's called Image Optimizer, Dynamic Image Processing, which is here. And if we click into here, so if we go down here, you'll be able to see $9.95 per month. So that's the minimum. So I didn't really want to lock Maddie into paying $9.95 a month just to be able to store her WebP images in one location in Australia, because then I would just go ahead and use Short Pixel here because I have credits already from an AppSumo deal. I have a lot of credits. And so I would just install this and then store the WebP locally on my machine and deal with it and have them backed up and be in all my backups. But there is a better option. So instead of paying $9.95 a month, Flying CDN under the surface is leveraging the Bunny CDN network. So you can go to flyingcdn.com. I might have an affiliate link in the description below. I'm not sure if they have an affiliate program, but I'll sign up to it and put that below if they do. But as I said, when you use Flying CDN, it's like white labeling the Bunny Net network. You can see that when you upload your images into WordPress, they will be cloned to the Bunny CDN locations around the world. Now, the good thing about Flying CDN over Bunny CDN is they include the image optimizer here with no minimum. So, well, there's no minimum to use the image optimizer. So if you go down and look at the pricing, so it's $3 a month, and that's a minimum per website. So that's up to 100 gigabytes, but this includes the image optimization. So Bunny CDN, you pay to use the CDN, and then it's a minimum $9.95 to have the on-the-fly image optimization. But here you're paying a $3 minimum, but this includes the image optimization, and it will push all your assets and images to the CDN locations of the Bunny network. So this could be a really good option for people, and this is actually what I'm using for WagePirate.com. So I'm getting the benefits of the Bunny CDN network, but I'm not having to pay $9.95 a minimum, because I did pay that for a month, and I worked out that it's going to be cheaper for me to do this, because if I do this, it will cost me less than $9.95 a month. So it just made more sense to do this. So definitely, if you have worldwide traffic and you want to set up a CDN and you want to optimize the images on the fly, which I definitely recommend, I would look at Flying CDN. And if we go down here, you can see the comparison. So for $3 a month, you get the WebP conversion and adaptive images and image compression. And it duplicates it around the world. And the 114 edge locations here, they're just the servers around the world that it would be cloned to. That is 114 locations that the Bunny Net network has. But still, I don't really want to lock Maddie into $3 a month just to optimize her website images into WebP, because she's not going to get the benefits of the CDN where it gets replicated around the world, because again, all the traffic's from Australia. So again, given that scenario, I would have just installed Short Pixel here and used my credits that I had got from an AppSumo deal, stored the WebP with her images here on her server, and just had them in the backup. And then she's not paying any money per month ongoing. But this is the final solution that I actually chose to go with, which is Short Pixel, but it's their other offering. So if we go under products and go down, this one on the left is the image optimizer plugin. And that's the one that I've been talking about throughout this video, where it duplicates and compresses your images into WebP and saves WebP on your server. But they also have this second offering called Adaptive Images, and this involves a CDN. So let's go read more, and we'll go down. And then it says here, Short Pixel Adaptive Images identifies on the fly all of your site's images and automatically instructs the CDN to optimize them, scale them to the optimum size for each device, lazy loads them, while leaving the original images on your web server unchanged. So images are processed on the fly and served from the CDN in next-gen WebP, and you can also do AVIF formats based on browser compatibility. So coming back here, why did I choose to go with that for Maddie's website? So one big reason is that from AppSumo deals, I already have a lot of credits there in Short Pixel. So I'm really trying to beat the $3 per month that I would pay using Flying Press. And because I already have so many credits inside of Short Pixel, if they have a CDN offering, it's going to be free for me. So I was like, okay, this is very intriguing. Let's find out more. So let's look at Short Pixel Adaptive Images. That's what this offering's called, from Short Pixel with the CDN. So the price for me is nothing because I have so many credits in there. For you, it's still very cheap. I think it's going to be cheaper than $3 a month. I'm not sure if we can work it out. Let's go to pricing. And then let's go to Adaptive Images. So unlimited's $8.25 a month. Let's go to monthly. So it's free for 500 megabytes. So if you install this for a month and you're using under 500 megabytes, it's going to be free. Now, if we go up to here, it's $3.99 a month if you're using 35. And then it's it's 80 gigabytes over here for $8.33. So if we had a look here, so it's $3.99 a month, and that's for 35 gigabytes. Flying CDN was $3 per 100 gigabytes. So if you don't have much traffic and you just want to optimize your images and optimize them on the fly, I would look at this. This is going to be your best option. But once you break over that, once you're doing over 500 megabytes, it's going to be better to go with Flying CDN because the Bunny CDN network that it's white labeling is a bit more established than the Short Pixel one, and also it's going to be cheaper. It's $3 per 100 gigabytes versus the whatever Short Pixel was. It was like 35 gigabytes for $4. But coming back here, because I have so many credits, it's free for me. They do the WebP on the fly. So I think all around for smaller websites or ones that aren't getting too much traffic, I think this is going to be the best way to do it. Now, from years ago, I signed up to their affiliate program. So I do have an affiliate link. I will leave that in the description below. And yeah, I just think this is a great option for the smaller websites, especially if you're getting under 500 megabytes of traffic. But once you go over 35 gigabytes, I would recommend switching to Flying CDN. You're not locked in here, again, because the WebP images aren't stored on your server, and it's all sort of off server. You can just swap from one CDN to the next CDN. It doesn't really affect you and your local website, so it's very easy to do. Now, coming back to here, a big part of why we were able to get fast page speeds is those images, because it's going to be an image-heavy website, like I said, but also the caching plugin. So I'll show you the Flying Press plugin. So down here, let's go to Flying Press. So I like that it shows you how many are preloaded. Just a side note, so for WagePirate.com, what's really good about this versus, for example, the paid version of Cloudflare is that if you're using the paid version of Cloudflare with their image optimizer, when you clear the cache there, it removes all your optimized images as well, which is a bit, it doesn't really make sense, does it? Because images don't really change that often, but you're wanting to clear the cache quite regularly, especially if you're updating your website. So the good thing about if you're using Flying Press with Flying CDN is you can purge all your HTML here, but you don't get rid of all your images that have been optimized on the fly and pushed to the CDN. And if you did want to do that, then you'd click this button down here, which purges everything. So you can purge your HTML only and your CSS and JavaScript, or you can purge your images as well in the CDN. So really good integration there, and that's why I went down this route for my website, WagePirate.com. And it also works out way cheaper for me than going with the paid version of Cloudflare, which at this time, I think it's like $19 a month. So I'll just show you the settings here. So if we go under cache, you can cache logged in, separate cache. You can schedule to remove the cache. I don't know why you would do that, but yeah, I mean, there are options there. CSS, so minifying, removing unused CSS. If you're on WP Rocket, you definitely need to try this feature here. It is way faster, and it seems to be more stable. I don't have any problems, to be honest. WP Rocket, WP Rocket, I had quite a few issues with their removed unused CSS feature. You can exclude style sheets, lazy load elements, which is really cool. JavaScript, minify, preload, defer. So this sort of stuff. Fonts, optimize Google Fonts. I'll just click through these images, lazy load images. If you're using the Flying CDN feature, so in my WagePirate website, I have the ability to check this, and that's the on-the-fly optimization. If we go to frames, lazy load, have an image for a YouTube video, so people need to click it to then load the image, so they're not loading the YouTube video straight away, which has a large JavaScript file that it needs to download, so it's a massive speed saver there. Bloat, you can remove some things here. CDN, database optimizations, and settings. So I definitely recommend checking out Flying Press. Now, coming back to the first slide here, so we've covered how we're optimizing and where we're storing our images. We've covered our caching plugin and what that's doing there. Now, the CSS and JavaScript, we also want to cache them as well. And so what we're doing there is we're using the free version of Cloudflare, and that's just caching those there. So that's what I have set up for all of the website there. And that's what we're getting here for the speeds. Now, again, this is all centered around the decisions were made of how to optimize this for one country's traffic, being predominantly Australia. Again, it's going to be different if you're doing global traffic. If you want to see a video on how I've optimized WagePirate.com, which if I go there and we click around a little bit, you can see that this is very fast as well. And if you have a look here, so we've got 95 there, and the desktop is 93. And that's with a video auto playing on the homepage. So this one here that auto plays. Actually, you know what? That's basically, you can extrapolate what we've discussed here in this section and just know that I'm using Flying CDN. And that, I don't think it needs a separate video, but if you guys do want a video on how to optimize for global traffic, I can make that, but I think I have covered most of it in this video. So with that said, let's jump into the back end and have a look at how all of this is set up. So here we are logged in. Let's start going through how this is all configured. So the home page here, there's nothing really tricky going on here. It's just built with Bricks Builder. It's just a page. If we go edit with bricks, we just have the main image there, and then we have 2 columns there. We have the 4 panels, then the gift cards, and then this is in the footer. So there's not really much that I can really go through here. The only thing that's probably worth going through is this header. So if we go edit header, this is using the new header builder or menu builder that came with Bricks Builder, the latest version. So if we have a look here, it's really cool. It's extremely flexible. Like, you are building it up from scratch. So some people might not like that. I did like that in this particular case because it gave me control to do things like, if we pull that in, I could add the button up there that stays there until it gets hidden into the menu. So I really enjoyed it. If you know Flexbox and you like this control where you're adding each individual element and laying it out, you're really going to like how basically they haven't done anything for you. You got to do a lot of work here to do it. But with that comes a lot of power. You can pretty much do whatever you want here. So it's going to suit a particular type of person, and I really enjoy building a menu like this. So definitely jump in and give it a go if you haven't gotten around to updating your header menu to use the new feature with Bricks Builder. When you get a second, definitely try and rebuild your current menu using this new nested nav feature. Now, as I said here, you do need to build it up from scratch. So you can see this nav link here, this is an element, and I've linked it to homepage and I've said home. So you're not going and using the default menu builder that is found in WP admin under appearance. So if we went back here and we go to appearance and then menus, you can see I have no menus in there. So you're, again, literally building this up from scratch. So I thought that was worth pointing out there. That's how bare bones it does start. But again, I did really enjoy it. Definitely give it a go if you haven't. So let's get out of that and coming up. So that's the home page. If we go to about, just a normal page. And when I'm going through and just doing a really simple design like this, I am just using Gutenberg for this. So if we go edit page, you can see I'm just typing in there, and then we have a photo there or an image, and then paragraphs, and then this here is a Happy Files gallery. So when you install that Happy Files plugin that I showed you earlier, you just go here and say Happy, I can spell Happy Files gallery. It's an actual block. And then in here, you can come and select your folders. And then in here, you can add images into here, into this actual block. So it's only adding it into this block, but you don't add this block onto other pages. But another way that you can manage it is using folders. So this is where it gets really cool. If we go back and we go to media and I go to library, you can see here I've created a gallery. This is Happy Files over here. So I've created a gallery and it's called Australian Native. And if we click into here, it has 4 different images in here of Maddie's work that are in the Australian Native theme. So I can come into here and I could go add a Happy Files gallery block and output all the images in that Happy Files gallery, and it's there. So the beautiful thing about that is I might want to have this gallery on multiple different pages on my website, or maybe I'm writing blog posts. I want to have that same gallery output on many blog posts. So by doing this and assigning to output all the images from this folder, in the future, I can just add more images into this folder and it will update into those galleries across my website. So really, really cool. But if you just want to have the ability to output just an image here, just upload it directly into this block and then be able to use the lightbox and all the other settings that come with this block, Happy Files block, then you also have that option there. So that's what I'm doing there. And then I just added her signature as an image there. So yeah, that's basically how I did the About Us page. So we'll get out of that. Now going to tattoos. So here we just have those 3 entry points into the sub pages and then a link to book the form. So if we go into a gallery, because they're all the same, so let's just go into a tattoo gallery. And here, if we have a look, again, you can see how this works. This is a Happy Files gallery, but this is a Happy Files gallery added in Bricks Builder. So if I go edit with bricks, you can see if I go here, Happy Files gallery, because Bricks Builder, the developer, created happy files and then obviously develops bricks, the integration is very tight. So if we go up to here and go happy files, there's a bricks element for happy files. So you just drag that into the page and then you'll get these options here. So I could have chose a folder here like I just showed you, but I've just gone ahead and locally added images here into this gallery. And then I chose what size I wanted them to be, and then what columns. And this will work responsively throughout Bricks Builder. So I really like this integration. So here on desktop, it's 3. And if we go down here, it's 3. And then if we go down here, it's 2. So you're editing inside of Bricks Builder and it's updating the Happy Files gallery. Again, the integration's so tight. Really enjoyed doing this. And I'd never set up a gallery before using Happy Files or Bricks Builder. It's pretty incredible what you can do with it. Now you can also have them open in a lightbox, open full screen, and have it zoom enabled. Which on the front end, if we click here, we'll go private browser. So the admin bar is in there. So if I open this up, we get this zoom icon up the top here where we can zoom in, we can zoom out, we can make it full screen like that. So we're in the full screen gallery, and we can click back to revert it. So yeah, it's really cool. You can use your keyboard to go across. You can escape to exit out of it. It's just a really cool, it's a really good gallery. And I guess if the developer of Bricks Builder is trying to add a gallery and he's only going to put one in there, he's probably going to do a lot of research to try and find the best one. And I really enjoyed it. So that's that there. That's how I did the galleries. And I just cloned them along the different pages. I just cloned the gallery, cloned that entire section, and then just changed the images in there. Again, I could have done a folder, but I just did this pretty fast. In the future, I might look at, so Maddie can manage these images herself. I will probably link each of these Happy File galleries to a Happy Files folder and then show her how to compress images and upload them into the gallery so she can adjust this herself. So that's tattoos. Commissions, it's the same thing, just a gallery. Commission info, pretty much the same thing. So that covers the general pages. So now we're ready to get into how to set up the more complex stuff. Not complex stuff, but it's just the stuff that most people aren't doing. But I think as business owners trying to build websites that make money, build an email list, and sell more of our products or services, or do that for our clients, these are the things that never really get funded or no one really wants to pay for. But these are the things that I feel like every website should be setting up. So let's get into it. The first one, the shop. So if we go to the shop, this is our shop archive, and we have 2 different products here, and I've just built this inside of Bricks Builder. Now, if we click into, let's say, the gift voucher, this is just a variable product where they can select the amounts. And again, this I just built inside of Bricks Builder. So if we go back to dashboard and we go to bricks and then templates, and I have a look for them, it's going to be the WooCommerce product page. So I'll go edit with bricks to edit that template and applied to the single product. And then we had the shop, which is just down here. And this is applying to the post type archive. I probably want to update that to just be products. So let's quickly do that. I would have done that in a hurry. So conditions, archive. Oh, I did. Okay, so I have set that up. So that is applying only to the post type products. So having a look here, you can see the elements that I dragged in here. So if we go up here inside of Bricks Builder, you can see under products here, you just drag them in. So I just dragged the product price element. I just dragged that into the template there. Add to cart. Again, that is another element down here. And product content. So they're just all in here. I just basically dragged them into there and then styled them. And same for the shop. I just went into here and then I turned query loop on. And then the image is the feature image. And then the heading is the post title that links to the post URL. So pretty straightforward stuff there in terms of Bricks Builder. Now let's look at what FunnelKit is doing with WooCommerce to enhance our website and sell more of Maddie's products and services. So you see here, if we go and select a $200 gift card, and then we click add to cart, like before, it's added to cart, we have this over here. So this is the FunnelKit plugin using its feature called cart. Now, before I go and show you how this is set up, let's go through the entire checkout process because there's a lot of other stuff that we're going to break down, and it just makes sense to break them down all in the one part of this video. So we've added to cart. This cart sidebar shows up. We can, increase our order quantity. We can decrease it. We could add a cross-sell into our cart. We can apply a coupon code, and then we can go checkout. Now, when I click go to checkout, it goes to a custom checkout page that I've designed. So this is actually designed using Bricks Builder, but it's powered by the FunnelKit plugin, and it's a WooCommerce checkout page. So having a look here, if that doesn't make sense, don't worry, I'm going to show you how this is all set up. It's actually very easy to set something like this up. But here we have a custom WooCommerce checkout page. So you put in our details, choose how you want this to be shipped, and then go down, and it has a test gateway there, just so I can do a test order. Again, this is part of the FunnelKit plugin, and now I'll go place order. And then while it creates our order, we go order received. So this is our WooCommerce thank you page, and it has our details down here like this. And this is a thank you page that I designed using Bricks Builder. That's going to be the flow for the customer. Now, behind the scenes, I want to show you something else that's really cool with what you can do with FunnelKit. Because again, that whole cart process, adding products to cart with the side slide thing, FunnelKit. Custom WooCommerce checkout page, FunnelKit. But then also using FunnelKit, if we go up to dashboard, and we go down here to FunnelKit and then to automations, we can build automations inside of FunnelKit. So if I click into this automation here, you can see that when an order is created with the order status of processing, then we are going to send an email to the customer. And if I click here, we're going to send the order receipt email. And then if we show you what that looks like in the visual builder, this is what I've designed. So it's basically just dragging and dropping columns and elements into there, just like you would with a normal WordPress page builder. And then the dynamic data is just output by what FunnelKit calls merge tags. So contact name fallback equals there. So if there's no first name, it will just say hi there. There's always going to be a first name with WooCommerce, but it's just always good to add a fallback. Then here we have a merge tag for the order summary, and that's going to output the table of what the person ordered, so the product information for the order. So the quantity, how much they paid, and so on. Then their billing and shipping details. And then down here, I added a stay up to date with Maddie to just try and keep them moving down the funnel and interacting with Maddie. So they click there, they can follow her on Instagram to see when she has free time for tattoos. So with that done, so if we get out of that, the order is placed, we send an email, we wait a minute, and then if the customer is subscribed in our CRM already, then we just exit the automation and all they've done is got the order receipt email. But if they aren't subscribed to our CRM, after a minute of receiving their order receipt, so up here, we wait a minute. If they're subscribed, no, then we send them an email that says, hey, thank you so much for your recent order. As a recent purchaser, I thought I'd let you know about my mailing list. These are the perks of joining the mailing list. Click here to subscribe. And when they click on this, obviously they have a real email address if they're reading this email. When they click on this link here, we change their status in the CRM from unsubscribed or unverified to subscribed. So this is how we're going to get people building up the email list if they buy products. And knowing that this triggers when an order is put into processing status, this should have just happened. So let's go ahead and see what this looks like. So you can see I have two different emails that have just come in here. So the first one here is the order receipt email. So if I click into this, you can see, thank you for your order. Hi, Grant. Just to let you know, we've received your order. It's in processing status, or it's being processed. And this is what we designed in the email builder inside of FunnelKit. So what you ordered, and it just outputs their data there. And again, this is the merge tag that was order summary that outputs this. Then down here, please note, I was just selling internationally, so I think it's just a good habit that I've gotten into, just letting people know what price they paid in, because I was selling in US dollars globally, and people would be like, oh, you said it was going to be $300, but it's $500, and you'd have to say, well, it's because it's USD, you paid with an AUD Australian card. So I've just gotten the habit of adding that. Don't know why I'm going on a tangent there. Then details here, so billing details, shipping details, and then stay up to date with Maddie, which clicks through to her Instagram. So this is now her order receipt email from WooCommerce. So if we go here under WooCommerce and then settings, and then we go to emails, you can see that the processing order email that normally goes out by WooCommerce to the customer is deactivated, so disabled. Now, when I get time, I'll go through and replace all these other ones with the ones that go from an automation inside of FunnelKit. I just have only had time to do this one. But that's the idea here. All of these would be disabled and replaced with automations from FunnelKit, so I can use a really nice drag and drop email builder to design them and not look so tacky. I mean, you guys know what the default WooCommerce emails looks like. This is the default out-of-the-box WooCommerce email, so we just turned this here into this here, so way better. Now, coming back to our automation, remember, if the user is not subscribed, then we send them this email asking them if they want to join the mailing list. So if we go back here and we go into the CRM, which is FunnelKit Automations, and we go to Contacts, so here's the email address that I just used to buy that, and you can see there I am there. And if I click into this, because I bought that using the test gateway as an admin user, it's automatically subscribed me because I'm an administrator, as it says over here. But generally, if you came in here or if it was just a regular customer, they would be in the unverified status. So for example, if I just change that, there'd be another one here saying unverified. If I go unsubscribe, just do that for me for now. So I would, if I was a normal customer, being unverified. And that customer gets created here when the order is placed. When the order is placed, the customer in the CRM is created here and put into unverified status. And then we send them the receipt. Wait a minute. And then down here, are they subscribed? No, they're not, because they're in unverified status. And then we send them an email with a special link down here that they can click. And we monitor that link. Just the FunnelKit plugin automatically monitors this merge tag, contact confirm link. And if that link is clicked by that user, it will change them to subscribed status. And what's really cool is this is your CRM, and because the CRM and the automations is all built by the same team that make the FunnelKit plugin that did the cart, the slide out cart, and a custom WooCommerce checkout page. Because they're built by the same plugin developers, they integrate very tightly. It's a complete system for a WooCommerce website. So this is why it's incredibly powerful to combine FunnelKit and FunnelKit automations. They are sold as two separate plugins, but you can get them as a bundle. But they are just so worth the money. Now, if we have a look in here and we click into me, I can see, well, you could see for your customers, you can get their details. And if we go to purchases, we can see what products they've bought from our website, the categories they were from. We can see their recent orders, the status they're in. And I can see they bought these 2 products in this order. We can also see what automations they've been in. So back here under automations, you would have heaps of different automations here. So when something happens, trigger a series of like a workflow. And back here, you can see which ones a person has been through. And then you can see what emails they've received. You can click here to see what it said in that email, which is pretty cool. So click here, it tells us all about that. And then what funnels they've been in and what they did in that funnel. So store checkout, this is the main WooCommerce checkout. So we know that this person went through our store checkout page and they bought. We didn't have any upsells or downsells set up in this particular case, so it's not showing any stats for them. But if you did, then that would show there. That's a pretty good overview of the adding to cart all the way through to the thank you page, and then automating sending a receipt email, and then having an automation set up inside of FunnelKit automations to email a customer to then subscribe them to our email list. So now that we've gone through and done a little bit of the front end, a little bit of the back end, let's go a little bit deeper and get a little bit more complex, because you're all warmed up now. You sort of understand how this is working. Let's go a little bit more technical. So let's go into, for example, carts. So I haven't enabled this just yet because we need to add some prints for Maddie, but we could enable cart tracking. So here we go to cart and we would enable this, and I would click save. And what this is going to do is this is going to add an abandoned cart recovery into WooCommerce. So now we're tracking when somebody adds a product to cart and they go to the checkout, and then they put in their email address, and then they leave, we're going to get their email address and get their cart contents and add them as a contact here in the contacts. And they will have abandoned cart. And then we can go under automations, and we could go add new automation. And under WooCommerce, we could do abandoned cart reminder. And here, there's an event called cart abandoned. So when you turn that setting on inside of FunnelKit to track carts, then you can get this trigger to start this automation. So let's go import, and I'll call this cart abandoned and go create. And now that's added. So if we go back here, FunnelKit automations, we now have a second automation. Let's go in. And again, this is a trigger. So when you're going out and creating an automation now, and if we go back here, and I just go like start from scratch and call this test. If we go select trigger, we can go under WooCommerce, and now we have cart abandoned, and then go done. So behind the scenes, FunnelKit has a built-in system that when somebody is adding products to cart and goes to your checkout page and enters their email, the built-in system inside this plugin, you don't need an extra plugin, you don't need Klaviyo. It gets that data, and now you can trigger an automation to try and recover that customer, send them back to checkout, and get some revenue. So I'll get rid of that for now, and we'll go back in here. And for Maddie, I'd probably do this. So when the cart's abandoned for one of her prints, so cart abandoned, delay, and then send the email. After 30 minutes, your cart is saved. You're just one step away. Hi, cart billing first name. We notice you're away. Outputs the cart table. And then it just says, click here to go back and complete your purchase now. And this is just a merge tag to the cart recovery link, which is going to be a unique link for this customer's session and what's in their cart. So each person, this just generates a unique URL that will take this person back to their cart and add those products back into the cart for this person. And then after 12 hours, we send another email, same deal. And again, you can go and do whatever you want here. You could add more emails, you could add more weights, and so on. That's just a really good example of how the FunnelKit plugin that enhances your WooCommerce experience interacts with the CRM side. So that's how you think of it. FunnelKit is your sales funnel builder. Customize your WooCommerce checkout page and add the cart slide out feature. So all the things that are trying to, on the front end, increase your revenue, sell more of your products. And then this here, FunnelKit automations, is the back end, the automations, housing all your contact details, storing all your cart data. But the next thing that I want to do is go to FunnelKit and then cart. And we'll just go through the checkout process and show you how that's all set up. So having a look here, this is that cart there. And you can actually see what it's going to look like as you go through the settings, which is really cool. So you can have it only apply. I'm not going to go through all these settings. You guys can see how it looks. But some things that you might want to do here is you can enable the cart price, so it shows the total down there. You can also add an icon there, so if you wanted to make the button stand out a little bit more, you could try that. But if we go up, Upsells is probably where you're going to be most intrigued by. So you can see you have a couple of options here for the Upsells. I am going to go with here, it's going to change the blue here. If I go style 2, I quite like this. You can also have style 3 that shows a lot more of them down there. Style 4 down the bottom, and style 4 down the bottom, just a bit taller. I'm going to go style 2. Okay, so they definitely have to look past it to go to checkout. So heading, frequently bought together, and then we can do cross-sells and upsells. So here, assign upsell and cross-sell to different products in your catalog, all from the same interface. So I want to go, and let's just cross-sell, and I'm going to do, so the print. So they're going to buy a gift voucher, and I say, well, why don't you get the print? That in there. So now if we save that and we go back to our shop and then gift voucher, now when I add that in there and I go add to cart, that's going to slide out, frequently bought together, the print. Now you might be wondering, how do variable products work with this side cart? And pretty cool actually. So if we go here, let's get this cross sell, let's add another one. And this is going to be deposit, because a deposit, they can choose different amounts. So it is a variable product. So we're going to choose the parent product here. So these are the variations. So 50, 100, and 200. We'll choose the parent and we'll go add. And that should be done. So let's go back here and reload the page. And now you can see we have 2. So add, because it's a simple product. So we could add that to our cart and that will just add it up here. Or if I get rid of that, we could select options for the variable. And if I click on this, it slides on top. And now we can see our variations. How cool is that? And then view details, we go to the product page. So if we go back, let's just say, okay, select options. See the variations, 100. Okay, cool. Add to cart. Now that adds it in there. Then we can go checkout. Now we're on the checkout page. Then we could go place order. Yeah, that's our custom checkout design we created in Bricks Builder. And then we go to the thank you page. So next, let's actually go through how I've created those in Bricks. So if we go to dashboard and we go to Bricks and go to templates, you can see I have a FunnelKit checkout, and it's a single applying to post type checkout. Then I have another one. It's a single template applying to my thank you page post type. So if we open up both of these, it's as you probably imagine. You have your sections and you have all that in there. And then FunnelKit gives you shortcodes to output the content for the checkout. So this outputs the cart sidebar widget. And then this one here outputs the checkout form. And I just styled them just using Bricks Builder. And then under settings, template settings and conditions, the post type is to checkout. So that's all that's happening there. And same here. So if we go here, so here inside Bricks Builder, they have an element that you can add into your page for the thank you content. And I just added that into the page. And then I applied this template to the post type of thank you page. That's how they're set up there. Now, the next things that I want to show you, if we go back to dashboard, is under FunnelKit and then under store checkout, we could add upsells and downsells here in our global checkout or our store checkout. Let's just say someone goes through and they buy a print at this checkout step. We could say, wait, there's another matching print and I'll give you 10% off if you want to get that as well, because they work well when they're hung together on your wall as a series. So I'll show you how you'd set that up. So let's go add new step. And this step would be a one-click upsell. So we're going to start from scratch. And I'll just say second print 10% off. We'll go add. And then I'll drag that up here, because that's going to occur in between the checkout and then the thank you page. So let's go edit. And then let's add a product. And the product we're going to be offering here, I'm just going to add the same print. Now, I would obviously go and create a second print. That would be the second one in the series. I don't have that set up just now. So for the remainder of this example, let's just say they've bought this print and we're saying, get the same print for a friend or family member for 10% off. Maybe that's a good thing. So let's go 10% off the regular price. And we'll just do shipping is $0. And what's really cool here, if you've ever used ClickFunnels where people are accidentally clicking the upsell button and then you're having to process refunds and it gets very complex, you can ask for a confirmation. So I'm going to enable that just to show you what this looks like. And you can also skip this if they've bought other products in their cart. So for example, if the person went through checkout and they had just bought this print, maybe you don't want to show them this upsell to get that print for 10% off because they could be annoyed. So maybe you want to skip this offer if this product is in the main order in the cart and that the person just bought. So you can do that. Let's just keep this very simple. So here, that for 10% off. So I'm going to save changes here. And then we'll go to design. And then down here, you get shortcodes that you can plug into your favorite page builder to be able to design using your favorite page builder, but be able to output what FunnelKit needs to process payments for the upsells. So you just copy and paste these into the design shortcodes and you add these to your buttons. So when this is clicked on a button, it knows to charge a credit card again. I'm going to keep this very simple for now. I'm just going to add this here. So let's go switch to WordPress editor. I'm not even going to use a page builder here. We're just going to quickly put in some things there so you get an idea of how this works. So let's go the product image slider. We'll add that there. And then under that, I'm going to add maybe the offer price. So we'll add that there. So I'm just going to add another shortcode here. And then under that, again, you'd be doing this in a page builder. I'm just doing it in Gutenberg just to show you how this works. You can do the regular price, sale price, how much they're saving, the save value, or the save value as a percent, all these different things there. But what we're going to do is we're going to just add this to a button. So yes, so copy. So here, I'll just add a button. And the link here, so link that to that. And that's going to be they're accepting the offer. So link equals yes. So add that in there. So yes, please. So yes, add this to my order. And then we might add a second button. And then the next one is going to be this reject equals yes. So this is saying no to the offer. So we'll add this no thank you. and we'll edit that and we'll put that there. So let's go ahead and save that. I have no idea what this is going to look like because again, you'd build this in a page builder. Can we preview this? Let's have a look. Sample offer. Well, let's just go through checkout and see what that looks like. So the rules. So you can have multiple upsells and downsells in this funnel step and then only show that based on rules. So we could add a rule. We could say only show this if the main order before this upsell, so in the main WooCommerce checkout form, they've bought contains at least one gift voucher. So save. Let's go to vouchers and let's go $200. We'll go add to cart. And then here, let's go ahead and add the print. And then we'll go checkout. And then I'll go down and I will say place order. Okay, that's going to process. And then we go to the upsell. Now again, I haven't done any customizations here, but you'd customize this using your page builder and maybe say, wait, get a second print for a friend and save 10%. And you can see it's pulled the featured image of the product and it's pulled the, because it's $100, we're giving 10% off. So we would write here, instead of paying $100, you'll pay $90. Yes, add this to my order. No, thank you. If they click no, thank you, then we don't charge their credit card. We just take them to the thank you page. But if I click yes, we will charge their credit card again. So let's go yes, add this to my order. You can see this is just slid out. And again, because we said in our settings here, and again, this is using the cart feature. This is so cool. That is awesome. If we go back here and go to the offers, we only want to show this offer. For this offer, we are going to ask for a confirmation. So if this was unchecked, if they clicked this button over here, this wouldn't show. You just charge their credit card and then they go to the thank you page. But we have said, yeah, we just want to make sure they're not accidentally clicking any buttons. So they've clicked that. This slides out. Yes, I accept. Now this might hurt your conversion, so you definitely might want to A/B test this, which you can do natively inside a FunnelKit. You can A/B test two different ways to handle one upsell. So you'd have a variation A where you don't ask to accept and variation B where you do ask and see what the conversion rate is. Here, let's go yes, accept. Then it's going to update the order. So it's adding that into the order, charging their credit card, using the same payment gateway they used in the main checkout step, and then they go to the thank you page. And if we go and have a look at their order, so we go WooCommerce and orders, and there it is there. Let's go and click in. You can sort of get an idea of how it breaks it down. So the main order, let's call it the parent order, is this one here with the gift voucher there. And then it's added a custom field or a meta field for this line item, and it says FK, so FunnelKit, cart, upsell, yes. So we know this was added from the cart upsell. Again, that's that slide out from the side feature. Yes. So we know they went and added this product to cart, and then they said yes from the slide out feature. And then this says upstroke, purchase, yes. And upstroke lets us know that it was during the upsell process after the main checkout page. So just from looking at this, we can get an idea. But FunnelKit, what I really like about it is it gives you a timeline over here. So we can see that they initiated the funnel. So they went through the checkout process. They initiated the funnel. They saw our upsell for the 10% off. Then they accepted it. They converted. And then they ended and went to the thank you page. So you also get a timeline over there. And then down here, if this was through Stripe or PayPal or any other payment gateway, because the main checkout page, you charge their credit card, so it has a special checkout token for your payment gateway. And then if they say yes to your upsell, that charges their credit card a second time, and that's a second charge ID. So inside your payment gateway, you have two different charge IDs for this one WooCommerce order, and so FunnelKit will just list them down here. So if you have a WooCommerce website and you're not using post-purchase upsells and downsells, you definitely need to try them out. These are a really easy way to sell more of your products and not force these products onto your customers. I know some people think this is too forceful, but it also gives a chance for people to get more of maybe what they didn't get a chance to see in your store. So maybe you're actually doing them a favor by showing them something that they actually would be happy to receive, but they just didn't see in your store. Maybe you have a lot of products, or maybe they're on their mobile phone and they saw one of your Facebook ads, clicked from the ad to your product page, added to cart and bought it, and they didn't even browse around, and they actually would have liked to see this product. So they're a really good way to sell more of your products, make more profit. So now if we go back to our CRM, so we go to contacts, and we go into my contact, you can see I have 3 orders. I've spent $1,300 if we click into there. And then go to purchases. So you can see these are all the products that I purchased. And then you can see all the different orders I've made and what I bought in each order. And then if we go to automations, the automations that I've entered. So the same one, just the order receipt one. And then we can see the emails I received. And then under funnels, we can see how I've gone through each funnel. So for the store checkout funnel, I've taken an upsell. And we can go down and see the orders, the WooCommerce orders for each particular checkout. And then you can see what upsells I've said yes to. Now, why this is so powerful is, let's just say Maddie was doing this in her store and she went through and she was selling that print there, and then she had another print. But then she released a third print that she felt would really match those first 2 prints. What she could do is now she could go into her broadcast email section, and then she could go add new broadcast, and she could say promoting to existing purchases of first 2 and go add. Or she could even just do anyone that bought one of the 3 prints. But here we can go, we're promoting the new third print that matches the other 2, and we're going to try and send them an email to let them know, hey, you guys might like this to complete the collection. So here we're going to go, so just go next. And then we start to filter out those contacts. Let's go add a new filter, and we want to go by what they've bought. So WooCommerce, and then down here, purchase products, matches any, or we could do matches none, matches all. We'll do any. So here we'll say print, and there's that print there. And then we would also choose the second print, but again, that's not in the website, and add it there. So then we go filter, and then that will be getting everyone in our CRM that's bought this product here and the second print. And then we would go next, and then we can write an email. We have a new matching print to your print. Okay, terrible English, but you get the idea. Then we say, hi, first name, you bought print A and or print B, and I just finished print C, and you might want to hang it on your wall with the other print and complete the collection. Here is a link to purchase, and you just send them back to the product page for that new print that you've just done. Once you've done that, you go next. Again, you could design that using the drag and drop builder. I just did the text editor, and you just check all this is good and go send now. And now you very easily send out an email blast to let people know that you have a new product that they probably want to buy because they've already bought 2 of the other products. And again, this was all integrated between FunnelKit and FunnelKit automations. There's no sending data via webhooks or doing anything complex like that stuff. It really is a clean solution. The last thing that I want to show you here is under FunnelKit and funnels. And that's how I'm handling all the booking forms on Maddie's website. So we have pay deposit, general inquiry, commission inquiries, subscribe, and book now. So if we click onto the front end, so if we go to tattoos, and then we go down to book your tattoo, we enter a funnel inside of FunnelKit. So if I go back here, this is the book your tattoo. It's this one here, book now. So if I was to open this up, you can see there's 2 steps. So I'll open both of these up here. So book now with just a fluent form on the page. And when they complete this fluent form, they go to the next step in the funnel, which is the thank you. Thank you for considering me. I'll read over and get back to you via email in the next couple of days. Now, you might be wondering why I bothered to add this as a funnel. Well, we already have FunnelKit in there for WooCommerce, so I may as well try and use it if it's going to make managing this a lot easier. And it does, for this simple reason. Everything related to this campaign, if you can call it a campaign, being the campaign is to book your tattoo. It's all housed as this one thing inside of FunnelKit funnels in book now all these steps are in that one little area. So I know if I ever need to update that, it's in there. It's a lot better than going to pages and add new and creating a page, a parent page and a sub page. And then you have those pages mixed in with your about page and your contact us page, or like those, you know how it just in my head, they're just two different things. One is an action and a thank you, okay, which is basically a funnel, versus informational pages, again, your home page and your about page. So I do like to separate them like that. Now, another reason that I do that is because we get analytics. So if I go book now and we go to analytics, I can see how many people visited the book now page and then how many people went to the next step. So how many people converted. So if we go and have a look here, I can see 12 people see this and 5 reach that. Then, you know, we can work out the conversion rate from that. So going back, so it's for organization, and we also get a bit of analytics there. It's mainly in my head for organization. Now the next one, commission inquiries, it's the exact same as that, so we won't go into that. It's just a form to a thank you page. And then we have general inquiry, which is the exact same thing. The only different one is pay deposit. So here you can see there's 3 steps in this funnel. We have a sales page, a checkout page, and a thank you page. So I'll open up the first one. And this is where Maddie's going to send people to. So she'll send them to maddietattoo.com/deposit, and that will redirect them here. I've just set that up as a redirect. And it says, if you're unsure what amount you need to pay for a deposit, please contact her first. And they have the options, $50, $100, $200, depending on what Maddie said to do. So when they click one of these, so if I click $50, we go to the next step in the funnel, which is that checkout step, and it adds a query string up the top to pre-select a product and add it to the cart. So here I'm adding the $50 deposit variation, and you can see they would pay that there. If I went back and I click $100, it adds a different product to cart just up here. So 694 is now 693, and that will add $100. So there's actually one product in WooCommerce. It's a variable product with 3 different variations, $50, $100, and $200. But inside of WooCommerce, each variation has a unique product ID, and so I'm just adding it up there. So if we go back to the last one, if you click $200, that goes to that same, this is the same checkout page. All we're doing is adding a different product into the cart using this query URL parameter up there. And then they go through, they select what date they're getting booked for. So 1st, 2024, and they go through and they will pay. So place order, they pay the deposit, and then they go to the order received. Maddie gets an email, and then we can also fire off an email to say, hey, thanks for paying a deposit. Just letting you guys know that we've just started an email list. Here's the perks. Click here to register, and then that would subscribe them into our CRM. The next thing that I want to show you how we set up is the newsletter opt-in form. So how people actually join the mailing list if they're intentionally trying to subscribe. So here on the homepage, if we go down into the footer, you'll see that we have this bar here. And this footer loads across the website on most pages. So if we were to go up to something like the About page, people might be reading about Maddie. They might go down and then go, oh, mailing list, be the first to know about Flash Day, when she's taking on commissions and when she has new prints for sale. Yeah, I'm interested in doing that. And then they can click subscribe now. That'll take them to this page here, and this enters them into a funnel inside of FunnelKit. So if we go back here to the dashboard, and we go down to FunnelKit and then funnels, it's this one here, subscribe general. So if I click into this, there's 3 different steps in this funnel. There's an opt-in step, and then there's an opt-in confirmation, and then we have another opt-in confirmation. Now, if you're wondering why we have 2, I'll explain why in just a second, but it's related to the double opt-in. So this first step in the funnel, if we open that up, you'll notice that takes us to that page that we just visited from clicking that link in the footer. So this is the first step in the funnel. So it basically just goes through why people might want to join the mailing list. And then under here, we have a form. Now, if I go edit opt-in page, you can see that that form is output using a shortcode. Now, I've just quickly gone ahead and designed this in Gutenberg here and then added that shortcode there, but you could design this using any page builder that you use, and you'll just add this shortcode and that will output the form. Now, this shortcode is what FunnelKit gives you. So if we go back to our funnel, so remember this is the first step in the funnel, if we click into this first step and go down a little bit, this is the forms shortcode. So you just copy that, and then you'd go edit, and then you'd paste that shortcode into the page you design in your page builder. But like I just said, I just did that in Gutenberg, and that will output a form for the FunnelKit opt-in form. That's what's happening there, and it gives us that. Now, if you want to change the appearance of the form that's rendered by this shortcode, you can come up here under Form, and you could change the fields that are output there. You also have the ability to add a new field if you wanted to do that. And then we could go to Customize, and then change the appearance of the form. So the inline is what we're using there for the shortcode. So we could change, the field. So if we want to add a border, the font size, we could go down to button and change the color of the button. But you also have the ability to do a pop over form, which is a pop-up. So you can see we have the progress bar and stuff like that. And if you want to use a pop-up form over an inline form, it's very easy to do as well. I'll show you how to do that now. So let's go back to design. And let's go down. You can see we just have this under here. So where we're outputting the inline form with the shortcode, we just need to add this onto something on our page like a button, this URL. So let's copy this. And then I'll go back to where I'm editing that page, which is here. And let's add a button. So let's go forward, add that in there. And I'll say click here to subscribe. And then on this button, we will link it and we'll that in there and paste. Again, I don't want to stress that I'm just doing this in Gutenberg here, but you could do this in any page builder. If you're using Bricks Builder, you'd add a button element and just add on that button element this URL. So let's go ahead and update that. And then back here, if we reload the page, see now we have this button, and if we click it, it opens up that there. So the pop-up, and then we can put in the details there. Now you wouldn't have both of them on the same page. I just want to show you how we have that set up. I prefer to have an inline form, so I'm going to go ahead and remove that, and we'll just stick. So I'll just save that to revert the changes. That's how you go ahead and design that opt-in form. So let's go up a step. That's that first step in the funnel. Now, when people complete this opt-in step, they're automatically redirected to the next step in the funnel, which is the opt-in confirmation. And so this is just FunnelKit. It's built in a system. There's logic in the code where when you submit the opt-in form, it just knows to go to the next step in the funnel. And in this case, it's a thank you. So if we open that up, see it says, thank you, please check your email. Because we're running a double opt-in here, so we're not automatically subscribing anyone that enters their details into that form, because we're going to have bots and we're going to have people put in fake addresses all the time. It just happens when you're building an email list. So to weed that out, we're going to do a double opt-in. So when people go to this form, so I can explain what a double opt-in is, and they go down, they put in their name, email address, and they go join mailing list. So I'll just do that now. It says, please check your email. We've just sent you an email. What we've done by filling out that form is we've added that person as a contact in the CRM, but their status is unverified because we don't know if they're a real email address. If we go back to our CRM and reload and click in, our status is unverified again. We opted in, but we don't know if this is a real email address or it's a spam email address. So behind the scenes, we've sent the person an email. So I've just received an email. Just like the thank you page says, please check your email. I have just sent you an email. Please click the link in that email to confirm you want to be subscribed. So we're at this point in the funnel currently, that second step. Now behind the scenes, we've obviously needed to send that email to that person that just opted in. So I'll show you how we have that set up. That's under FunnelKit automations and then under forms. You can see there's the general subscribe form. So if I click into this and go down a little bit, you can see that when somebody fills in that FunnelKit opt-in form from my subscribe general funnel, we get the name from the field and the email field, and we map them to the CRM fields. So I'll actually take you right through the process. Let's just go up here and go edit. So when you're going and doing it, I was like, okay, there's two different fields in this form, a first name and an email. So this is the form fields. Map them or create a contact and map those values to those fields in the CRM. That's all I did there. And then we go next. And then here we send them an email from these details. And it says, please confirm your subscription. And that says, hi, first name. Please click here to confirm you want to be subscribed. And then list out the benefits. And then here, when they click this link, we have a merge tag called contact confirmation link. And FunnelKit just knows that when somebody clicks this link using this merge tag to change their status from unverified into the subscribed status, because they've opened this up, so we know it's a monitored inbox from a real person. And then down here, when they click that link, I've specified that we redirect them to this URL here. And this URL is that third step in the funnel. So they fill in the opt-in form and automatically get redirected here. Then we send them an email with that double opt-in. And then when they click that link in the email, we send them to the URL of this step here. That's how that's set up. So we know that I'm in unverified status. So let's go to my inbox and click that link. Hi Grant, please click here to confirm. So I'm going to click this now, and that says you're subscribed. You have successfully joined my email list. And then I keep them going down and I say, okay, go follow Maddie on Instagram. And that will take them to her Instagram. Now, if we go back and have a look at our contact, we were in unverified. If I reload this, that now subscribes me. And now when we go down and do things in our website, like send a broadcast email, we only send to our contacts that are in subscribed status because we know they're real inboxes because they've had to open up an email and click a link to double opt in. And just lastly, coming back to the funnel, this third step here, I'll just open it up here just to confirm that that was your subscribed page. That's how we handle a double opt-in newsletter subscribe form here, all again using FunnelKit. Now, currently, as it stands, I've only had time to set up the email opt-in to be accessible from down here, but over time, when I do have a bit more free time, I will set up a pop-up. The way that I'm going to do that is using ConvertBox, and I have it set up on WagePirate.com. So see how that loads and takes up the full screen. And I don't put the form here on the pop-up. So when people click this button, then they will go from Maddie's pop-up back to that opt-in page where they can complete the form. That's exactly the same process I have here on WagePirate. So I have a pop-up show from the ConvertBox pop-up software that I use. It's a really good software. It's a lifetime deal. I'll link that in the description below. But if I click Get Access Now, that ConvertBox pop-up takes me to an opt-in page. So this is an opt-in page on WagePirate.com, and it just goes through the same process. So this is an opt-in form from FunnelKit. This is a FunnelKit opt-in page. When they put in their email address here, then I put them in unverified status in the CRM, send them an email. If they click that link in the email, then I change them to subscribed status. So I'll have a ConvertBox pop-up here on Maddie's website at some stage in the future. Now, if you're curious, the link in the description below for ConvertBox will take you to this page here. And if you click Get Your Lifetime Account, it's $4.95, but you can use this for multiple websites. So definitely read more about it on these pages here. But the good thing about this is I've already paid for it, so I have it set up for WagePirate.com. I had it set up on many e-commerce websites when I was running it at that time. And the good thing about this is because I can run it for multiple websites, I can just go and set it up for Maddie, and it doesn't cost me any extra money to have it on my website, WagePirate.com, and then just add it to hers as well. So it's worked out really well for me, so maybe you might want to check out that as well. Now, if you're wondering why I didn't go down the route of setting it up using Bricks Builder for the pop-ups, I just like that I can get analytics. So if I go to Quick Wins, so that's the pop-up that you just saw, I have an A/B test currently running. It's very new, but if we go to Stats, I can see the variant A and variant B. I'm basically just trying a white background versus a dark background. Not much data currently, but you can sort of see that the white background's definitely getting people to click the button there to go to my opt-in page at 1.4% higher conversion rate. So I'll leave that running for a second, but I do like that I get analytics here. So let's wrap up that section on the newsletter subscribe form. The next thing that I want to look at is here under FunnelKit automations and forms. So you can see that I just showed you what the general subscribe does there, but you can see I also have for book your tattoo, commission inquiries, and general inquiry. So let's go ahead and go to book your tattoo. And the reason that I have them set up here is that when somebody fills in that Fluent form, I want to then send them an email to let them know about Maddie's mailing list in case they want to register and get her emails. So the way that I set that up, we can actually set it up from scratch, and I'll just delete it just to show you how it works. So FunnelKit automations and forms. If we go add new form, and let's just recreate the book your tattoo form. And then you can choose the type of form that you're trying to interact with. So I have Fluent forms here. I showed you FunnelKit opt-in, so that was her newsletter subscribe page. But you also have Gravity forms, Elemental forms, and WP forms. Now, if your form plugin isn't listed here, the way that you would do that is you would send webhook data from your form into an automation. So your form data would be sent via a webhook, and that would trigger an automation to then do what I'm showing you here. So here, I'm going to say Fluent form, because that's the book your tattoo form, and I will go book your tattoo. And then I go next, and then we map it. So I would go first name, and then last name, and then email. So these are the form fields, and then these are the contact fields. So just to show you on the front end, tattoos, book your tattoo, land on an opt-in page, and this is a Fluent form. So first name, last name, email, describe your tattoo, size your tattoo. That's those form fields over here from Fluent Forms, and we're mapping them to the contact fields here that are available for a contact in the CRM. So here, if I click into me as a contact, it's these fields here that we're mapping. And you can go and create new ones of these. You just go under contacts and then fields, and you can add new fields there, and then they could be mapped to here. I'm just going to do these 3 for now for this example. So let's go down and go next. And then we're going to enable an email. And then here we'll say, thank you for completing the book your tattoo form. I was also just wanting to let you know about my mailing list in case you wanted to join. And then we could list some perks here. If that sounds good, click here to subscribe. And then on this link here that they need to click, we'll select that and we will go to merge tags and contact confirmation link. This subscribes them. So we'd copy that and then here we link it, there, and then we put that in there and paste. So they fill out the Fluent form and then that creates a contact as we just mapped in this step here. And then we send them this email to let them know that their booking is complete. Do they want to join the mailing list? And then if they click this link here, this merge tag will change their contact in the CRM from unverified to verified. And then when they click this link here, we need to send them to a URL. And I just set up a page on my website just that generally says, thank you for subscribing. And so all the different forms that aren't really specific to one thing, just go to that general, hey, you're confirmed, you're on the mailing list. So it might be like mattytattoo.com/subscribed. So by going here under FunnelKit automations and forms and going through that process that I just showed you, we're giving them a notification to their email to say we've received their email for the booking form, the Fluent form they filled out. And then we're also giving them a chance to opt in and to build our email list. And this is also acting as a double opt-in, because if they click this, we know their inbox is monitored, and so that we know that we can subscribe them and send them emails. I know they're going to a real email address. So I would go there and activate that, but obviously I'm not going to do that because we already have a live form. So I'll go ahead and delete that before I forget. That's what these 3 forms are doing here. The general contact form, when they ask Maddie about a commission, or when they're booking in their tattoo. Inside each of these, we're saying, hey, we've just received your message. By the way, did you want to join our mailing list? And that's how we're doing that there. I'm hoping this is a valuable indirect way to help her build her mailing list. So I'm going to wrap that up here. I definitely need to get going to soccer and eat something before I go. But if there's one thing that you can take away from this is that WordPress is extremely powerful here. We can just create so many cool things with the page builders that are out there now and plugins like FunnelKit. They just do so much. It's going to be really beneficial to put some time aside to try these types of plugins, especially FunnelKit. When I tried it out, it completely changed my business. If there's one plugin that you should try, it's FunnelKit. It's linked in the description below. I'll see you guys in the next video.